Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She is your real estate voice, and this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate. It does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold, Guaranteed Realty. Barb, now that the market is slowing down, not all homes are selling. What are the five keys to get top dollar when you're selling your home?
Well, Richard, it's definitely a different market. I mean, 2021 and early part of 2022 were really fun. Everything went on the market and had a bidding war, and the question was how much over asking price could we get? And that's not really happening so much anymore. So it means you have to be priced correctly. And the traditional thought would be that you would price a home slightly high for negotiating room. But the problem with that is that if you price it slightly high, the buyers aren't even going to come look at it because they're finding better values out there. And I've seen it happen in almost every price range. So you want to make sure that there's five things that you do to get the most money when you sell your home. Number one is most sellers are after getting the most money. They want to make sure they want certainty that their home is sold, and they want to know that they can buy their next home without worrying about this one selling. Or some home sellers actually want to stay in their home after closing for a little while so they could take their time moving. These days, that's a little bit harder to pull off. But there's a lot of things that you can do that will save you thousands of dollars. Number one, and it's kind of obvious, but it's hard for people to do this, is to be the best home available on the block in all aspects, condition, price. If you don't have the resources to update the home, that's okay. We have this new program where we can take care of some basics like carpet and paint. So at least it's good, it's show ready, and we can get buyers in that are willing to make their best offer. Um, and then the next thing is you want to make sure you hire an agent that really knows how to create demand. When I talk to home sellers and I go out on appointments, I don't know, quite a few every week, most of them are used to seeing agents that just show up and show them similar sales and don't tell them anything about how they're going to create demand for their home. And all the stars have to align. You have to do proper preparation. You have to do excellent photography. Photos absolutely matter because we know 99% of the home buyers eliminate homes based on the online presentation. So you don't want to be eliminated online. That means they're never even going to drive by or never even look at your home. And most homes are eliminated in less than 57 seconds. And most of them eliminate homes based on the online photos. You know, just probably 10 years ago, the imagery really wasn't good enough for a buyer to make a decision about buying a home sight unseen. And now they are. I talk to more and more people that either have or are buying a home sight unseen, right? And there's a lot of risk to doing that because you may not see every little problem, every nook and cranny. But if it has bad photos, the buyers aren't going to even consider your home. The first photo I've shown a bunch of times, Richard, I love making fun of this one just because it has so many problem elements. Like the shower curtain is half closed. So the automatic assumption from the buyer is there's mold behind that shower curtain. There are rugs on the floor. That doesn't look attractive. There's three rolls of toilet paper. One of them is next to the kitty litter box, which is really, really odd to me. There's a bunch of shaving stuff on the counter and the photographer in the picture. It's obviously a dark photo. It's very clear to me that it was the agent taking the picture because this agent was too cheap to spend $100 or $200 to get high quality professional photos. That is a massive mistake. In fact, I'll go so far as to say it is malpractice to do that to home sellers. We charge a fair amount of money for what we do, and I would think people are expecting a really great service to create demand. Let me give you an example. I just sold a home over the weekend where we activated the listing on a Monday. We got requests to show a right away. He priced it right. The pictures look really good. All of his preparation getting the home ready for sale was amazing. He put luxury vinyl throughout the home. But he moved most of the furniture out. So that gave me an opportunity to digitally put furniture in. And overall, the product online looked fantastic. We had a great turnout at the open house. We ended up selling it the first week for over asking price. But what was really interesting to me was that the offer of the person that bought it was written days before she ever saw the home. So that
Wow.
tells me she made that decision before she ever went and looked at that house. She knew that was the one. And she did whatever the seller wanted, basically, in terms of price and terms and all that to get that house. So we have a proven system. We also already have a database of over 27,414 buyers in waiting. And if you have to sell a home first before you buy, that becomes a big ball and chain and dilemma for the houses that you're going to buy because it takes away the certainty of the home seller to know that their home is going to be sold and sold on time. We actually have 64 cash buyers, high net worth cash buyers that'll make an offer on your home. We have a trade up program, and we have all different kinds of things that can really help you as a home seller get the home sold fast and get it sold on your terms at your price with the least amount of hassle. Some of the things that you can offer are things like maybe to offer to pay some of the buyer's closing costs so they can get a lower interest rate. That would make the home more affordable. Remember when Scott was in the studio, Richard, and he was talking about how somebody didn't come look at his home because the price was too high, but they didn't know they offered a lower interest rate. Okay. Remember him talking about that?
I do, and that's why it's so important to have somebody like you, like Scott. Scott, great guy.
Yeah.
There are little things if somebody just takes a cursory look at it online or however, they may not pay attention to something that makes a huge difference. It makes a difference between taking a pass on a home and buying a home that is a great deal for them and brings them 20, 30 years of happiness.
Right. And because of the sticker price on the home, that buyer wouldn't look at that home, right? But something, I don't know, somehow he wandered in and looked at it and he finally got it explained to him that they're offering really, really low interest rates. And he ended up buying that brand new home because it was a better payment and a better buy for him than an existing home that was older that didn't offer these financing vehicles. And I will go so far as to say that many of the agents out there showing homes, they don't read the fine print. I can't get them to read the one line that says how they set up appointments. And then they call and complain, well, I want to see it now. Why can't I see it now? And anyway, that tells me they're not even reading the one line. I don't even think they're looking at the multiple listing service. I think they get some buyer that says, hey, I want to see that house. Then they pick up their phone and they go up on showing time and they click the blue icon. Boom, I want to see it at this time. They haven't researched anything about the house. They don't know anything about it. And yet they're going to handle one of your largest assets and make thousands and thousands of dollars for that sale. So if I'm a buyer right now, I would demand that my agent know everything there is to know about that house before I walk in the door. And if that means picking up the phone and asking, so be it. But at least read one piece of paper before you walk in the door and you're about to make about $20,000. What do you think, Richard?
I think you're right. When you start saying it's tiptoeing around malpractice, or it certainly is something maybe not illegal, but it's not ethical. That's not how you treat people.
Well, I mean, if there's a better opportunity out there, I wouldn't be surprised if that buyer didn't even use that agent, that didn't even read the fine print, which it doesn't take that long. It's one piece of paper, and you're helping somebody with one of the biggest purchases in their lives. So I don't understand why they do that. I think the training in the industry is horrible, and they're all door openers, unfortunately. Not all of them, but some of them are door openers, and that's it. But not all real estate agents are the same. And some of the programs that we offer a trade up program, we offer a cash offer program. You can find out about all of those if you go to barbhasthebuyers.com or give us a call at 719 301 3900. negotiating is a problem too. Did you know, Richard, that most agents are not trained on how to negotiate? Did you know that?
I didn't until you told me that, and that is stunning. That's one of the biggest ingredients in terms of working out an entire sale or purchase, whichever, and to not know how to negotiate.
Yeah, I mean, what is the agent's job? The agent's job is to sell a home, right? To help people through the process because it's not a process that you do every day. And yet we find them, we catch them on video all the time trying to derail or get the buyer uninterested in the home based on really silly stuff that's easy to fix, like peeling paint on the back deck. Oh, this won't go VA. You can't buy this house. I mean, I swear they're in the sales prevention business, and it's unfortunate. And then when they do get lucky enough to get a contract, all the way through the process from the beginning to the end, their mission is to try to get the most stuff away from the seller for the buyer and or blow up the deal and protect the buyer from the house. And that happens way too often, and it makes me insane. So to be the best home on the block absolutely means you get it ready for sale, you price it right, so the buyer will not hesitate to buy this home no matter what happens. And I think that's very, very important that you get an agent that really knows how to do that. And that's what we do. We give people tips on what to do and what not to do to get their house ready for sale, tell them how much they're going to put in their pocket, give them really good strategies on how they get top dollar so they win when they sell their home. Richard?
We're talking with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and you can reach Barb at 719-301-3900. That's up and down the front range. You've highlighted 3 of the 5 keys to maximize your sales price when selling your home. 1 is to be the best home on the block. 2 is to create a demand with aggressive marketing. And 3, solve buyer problems. Tell us a little bit about the last 2, Barb.
Well, negotiations are critical. And, it can be a win-win if everybody's talking. It's not a fight necessarily, but, sometimes it's unreasonable. Like recently, I called a buyer's agent because we had just been through a whole inspection with the previous buyer that walked away, and he fixed everything. So then this buyer comes in and says, we want $1,000 off the price because we don't like the sub panel in the garage. And so I just called him. I said, really, are you really going to terminate this $565,000 sale over $1,000? And he goes, no, but I have to ask for something. That was his paradigm of negotiating. That's what he thought negotiating was. So we use reverse psychology. I said, you know what? What we didn't put in the contract is the buyer's going to get a home warranty. Okay, so we will do that, and we'll make sure you have smoke detectors or whatever else you're asking for, and then we got it closed. But it's just very interesting. And then I think the very last thing besides negotiating is absolutely critical out of the gate that you price it correctly. That doesn't mean you price it too high. If you price it too high and slowly walk the price down, you're actually going to net less money. It's just the opposite of what you would think. And we know how to do that. And every seller that agrees to do that ends up getting top dollar. Just to ask Larry and Judy, he told me up front, I want the most money. I said, well, you don't get the most money by overpricing. Price it down here. He goes, but I still want more money. I said, it's okay. So we still went on the market at the realistic price. We had 40 people at the open house. I presented 6 offers. I played mom against dad, and I ended up getting him 50,000 over asking price. And he was really happy. Richard?
When he said he wanted more money, you got him more money and you knew how to do it. That's Barb Schlinker, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And you're listening to Barb on Your Real Estate Voice. It is Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. You can talk with Barb about those guarantees by calling 719-301-3900. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about our new Get Your Home Ready to Sell offer. Stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it.